In the March 6th episode, J.J. Devereaux stepped up to help Joy Wesley when she found herself in a vulnerable situation in the town square. It was a moment that not only showcased J.J.'s innate sense of responsibility and concern but also set the stage for a potential romantic development between the two. As J.J. observed Joy struggling to maintain her balance, his instincts as a former paramedic immediately kicked in. Without hesitation, he checked her pulse, a small but significant gesture that underscored his care and attentiveness. His first priority was her well-being, and he suggested taking her to the hospital for a full evaluation. However, Joy was quick to dismiss the idea, insisting that she already knew what was going on. To J.J.'s surprise, Joy made a startling admission: she suspected that she might be pregnant. The weight of her words hung in the air as she grappled with the reality of the situation, expressing her frustration and uncertainty. J.J., though at a loss for words that could truly comfort her, still managed to be a reassuring presence. His efforts, however small, demonstrated his concern and willingness to support her, even if the circumstances were far from ideal. This unexpected interaction between J.J. and Joy has fueled speculation about what lies ahead for them. Could this be the beginning of a new romance? Their moment in the town square suggested a deeper connection that could be further explored in the coming episodes. Meanwhile, trouble seems to be brewing in J.J.'s current relationship with Gabi Hernandez. Although J.J. and Gabi are officially together, their relationship has always been on shaky ground. Their previous attempt at love was marked by challenges, and history may be on the verge of repeating itself. The fundamental differences between them have become increasingly evident, particularly in the way they view the law and morality. J.J., a dedicated detective at the Salem Police Department, has always strived to uphold the law and follow a moral compass. Gabi, on the other hand, has a history of taking matters into her own hands, often skirting the edges of legality. Most recently, she nearly pulled the trigger on E.J. DiMera right in the middle of the DiMera mansion. While she ultimately held back, her actions speak volumes about the risk she is willing to take, and it's unlikely that J.J. will be able to turn a blind eye to them forever. Cracks are beginning to form in their relationship, and it may only be a matter of time before those cracks widen into a full-blown split. If a breakup is on the horizon for J.J. and Gabi, it could pave the way for something new between J.J. and Joy. Given the emotional weight of Joy's possible pregnancy, it wouldn't be surprising if she finds herself relying on J.J. more and more in the coming weeks. The timing is certainly interesting, especially considering the turmoil in her professional and personal life. With her job at Titan growing more complicated and her past romance with Alex Kyriakis still lingering in the background, Joy may be feeling more lost than ever. The question now is, how far would J.J. be willing to go to support Joy? Would he step up as a potential father figure if the pregnancy is real, or would his own past experiences with deception hold him back? J.J. has been on the receiving end of paternity lies before, and it's not something he takes lightly. If Joy were to claim another man as the father, it's almost certain that Alex would demand a DNA test to verify the truth. This would put J.J. in a difficult position, as he would have to navigate his role in Joy's life carefully, ensuring that he is offering her support without getting caught in a tangled web of deceit. However, even if J.J. doesn't take on the role of a fake father, he could still be a crucial emotional pillar for Joy as she faces an uncertain future. Likewise, if J.J. does ultimately break things off with Gabi due to her reckless behavior, Joy could become a source of comfort for him as well. Their newfound closeness, combined with the vulnerability they've shared, could blossom into something deeper over time. As Days of Our Lives continues to unfold, the possibility of a romantic pairing between J.J. and Joy becomes more intriguing. Could these two find their way to each other in the midst of their respective struggles? Would J.J.'s steady presence provide Joy with the security she needs, while Joy's resilience helps J.J. heal from his past heartbreaks? Fans of the show will no doubt be watching closely to see where this potential love story leads. Could J.J. and Joy be the next big couple in Salem? Should the show take the plunge and explore this dynamic further? The coming weeks promise plenty of drama, and whether this new relationship takes root or not, one thing is certain: JJ and Joy's story is far from over. Monday, March 10, 2025, a shocking reunion and a family crisis on Days of Our Lives. Salem is never short on surprises, and today's episode of Days of Our Lives delivered yet another bombshell. The drama picked up where Friday's cliffhanger left off. Tate Donovan rushed home in a panic after hearing the alarming news that John Black was missing. He barely had time to process the situation before his father, Brady Black, arrived, just as another unexpected visitor walked through the front door. It was Teresa Donovan, free from jail and standing before them with a confident, yet uncertain smile. Teresa's sudden release leaves Brady and Tate stunned. Brady and Tate were visibly shaken at the sight of Teresa, their shock evident in the silence that followed. For a moment, neither of them knew what to say. Tate's first instinct was to throw his arms around his mother, hugging her tightly. Brady, on the other hand, stood frozen in place, his mind undoubtedly racing with questions. Had she escaped? Was this some kind of mistake? And if not, why hadn't they been informed? Teresa, ever the firecracker, quickly dispelled their worries. "Relax, boys. I didn't escape," she said with a chuckle, her tone light-hearted but firm. "My release date was just moved up. Let's call it a little unexpected mercy from the justice system." Even though she said the words with ease, something about her explanation felt off. Brady's gaze narrowed as he studied her, but he let it slide, at least for now. There were bigger matters at hand. A missing father, a desperate search. Tate wasted no time catching his mother up on the crisis unfolding around them. He told her about John's sudden disappearance, about how Steve Johnson and Andrew Donovan, her own father and brother, were searching for him as they spoke. Teresa's smirk faded into an expression of concern. "I'm so sorry you're going through this," she murmured, wrapping Tate in another comforting hug. "But listen to me, if anyone can find your grandfather, it's the Donovans. You can count on that." Her words were sincere, but the tension in the room didn't fade. Even as she tried to reassure her son, worry flickered behind her eyes. Teresa had history with John Black, complicated history, and the idea of him missing under mysterious circumstances was unsettling. Then, as if remembering that life had gone on without her, Teresa changed the subject. "What about you, sweetheart? How have you been holding up? How's Holly?" An awkward shift, the bombshell about the baby. Tate hesitated. His mother knew that look, he was hiding something. Her mind went into overdrive. Had something happened between him and Holly? Were they still together? "Are you two broken up?" she asked, perhaps a little too eagerly. Brady, who had remained a silent observer until now, chose this moment to interject with the one topic that would throw Teresa into an even bigger tailspin. "Tell her about the baby, Tate." Teresa blinked. "Baby?" Tate shifted uncomfortably. He had never mentioned anything about a baby to his mother, and judging by the widening of her eyes, that had been a major oversight. Teresa gasped, her voice rising. "Oh, my God, Holly's pregnant? Tate, how could you keep something like this from me?" The young man groaned, rubbing his forehead. "No, Mom, it's not Holly. It's Sophia." The relief that washed over Teresa's face was brief. "Sophia? Who the hell is Sophia?" Brady, knowing that this conversation was about to escalate into something dramatic, sighed heavily and headed toward the kitchen, leaving Tate to handle the situation on his own. The grandmother revelation that wasn't for a moment. Teresa stood frozen, her mind spinning in a dozen different directions. Just when she had come to terms with the idea of being a grandmother, she had to reevaluate everything. Tate quickly explained that Sophia was an ex-girlfriend, and that they had decided to put the baby up for adoption. But before Teresa could process that information, he added the final twist: Sophia's mother had vetoed the plan. Of course she did, Teresa scoffed, throwing her hands in the air. Why wouldn't she? Her voice was dripping with sarcasm, but underneath the bravado, there was real concern. Teresa knew all too well how difficult it was to make life-altering decisions at such a young age. She had been there herself once, and she knew how much Tate must be struggling. But that didn't mean she was going to sit back and let someone else dictate her son's future. So what now, Tate? What does this mean for you? What does this mean for the baby? For the first time since she walked through the door, Teresa looked genuinely rattled. What's next for Tate, Teresa, and the Black family mystery? With John Black missing, tensions running high between Brady and Teresa, and Tate caught between his past and present, there's no telling where this storyline is headed next. Will the Donovan family track down John before it's too late? Will Teresa try to insert herself into Tate's personal life now that she's free? And how will Brady react to Teresa's sudden reappearance in their lives? One thing is certain, this is only the beginning of the chaos. Stay tuned to Days of Our Lives for more shocking twists and turns.